Why do I feel that one of the reasons Lauren Sanchez is getting so much hate right now is because she's another great example of a Latina stealing your men. Let's be so for real right now. She caught the biggest fish and you're handling it well.
Talk to me about this team that you two have built together.
That's a good word. We're really great teammates, and we also have a lot of fun together, and we love each other. I'm really looking forward to spending my life with someone who I deeply respect and care about, and someone who loves my kids. You know what I'm most excited about is I get to marry the man of my dreams, and he's amazing, and I get to spend the rest of my life with him, and he loves my kids.
How does a woman go from a dim, flickering apartment in New Mexico to sitting beside the richest man on earth, whispering into the ears of billionaires, and controlling a $2 billion empire? This isn't a story about success, it's about strategy, obsession, and a trail of broken lives left behind. Lauren Sanchez wasn't just ambitious, she was relentless. While the world watched her smile for the cameras, what they didn't see was the quiet destruction she left behind. Friends turned enemies, careers shattered, and reputations burned to the ground. Also, she could rise without competition. Because to Lauren, power wasn't earned, it was taken, piece by calculated piece.
More nerve-wracking, going into space or planning a wedding?
Planning a wedding.
Lauren Wendy Sanchez was born into struggle. Raised in a modest apartment in Albuquerque, New Mexico, her childhood was marked by poverty, instability, and survival. Her father, Raymundo, worked long days in construction for $8 an hour. Her mother, Eleanor, cleaned houses for the wealthy, homes Lauren could only dream of stepping into. Electricity would often be shut off. Groceries were never a guarantee. But while her family coped with hardship, Lauren studied it. She didn't cry when things were hard. She adapted. From an early age, she developed a reputation for being different. Neighbors described her as unusually quiet, not in a shy way, but in a calculating one. Maria Gomez, who lived nearby, recalled, "She wouldn't cry when she fell down. She'd just look at the kid who tripped her and memorize their face." It wasn't emotion she showed, it was strategy. At school, she learned how to get ahead. Not through charm, but through manipulation.
I was having a tough time. I was stressed out.
By age 10, she was already forming cliques to isolate popular girls, spreading whispers that would ruin reputations before recess ended. Teachers noticed too. She wasn't just smart, she was tactical. One even noted her ability to pressure classmates emotionally without ever raising her voice. Lauren figured out something early most people never do. You don't have to be liked to win. You just have to be feared or at the very least untouchable. And that mindset would only evolve from there. By the time Lauren Sanchez entered college, her tactics weren't just survival. They were a skill set. At the University of Southern California, she wasn't the most talented journalism student, but she quickly became the most feared. And her first real victim was someone who thought they were her friend. Jennifer Clark had everything Lauren didn't: talent, pedigree, and a guaranteed internship at CNN thanks to her family's media connections.
Girl who could barely read. Like, I was the girl in class that when they called on me to read, I'd start sweating. I'd freak out, and then, I'd try to read it before, and hopefully I didn't have to read out loud.
So Lauren got close. She played the supportive friend, always ready with compliments, advice, and subtle digs disguised as concern. She started small. "Maybe you're spreading yourself too thin," or "Are you sure your work is strong enough for CNN?" Slowly, she chipped away at Jennifer's confidence. When the internship window opened, Lauren made her move. She convinced Jennifer to take a practice run at a local station instead, just to build experience. Behind the scenes, Lauren took Jennifer's references and submitted her own application to CNN. She got the spot. Jennifer didn't. Decades later, Jennifer still remembers the betrayal. "She knew I trusted her, and she used it like a weapon. That one stolen opportunity derailed her career permanently. She never broke into national media. Lauren did. This wasn't luck, it was precision." And once Lauren saw how easy it was to destroy someone quietly, she started setting her sights even higher. Because in the real world, competition wasn't something to beat. It was something to eliminate. After stealing her way into the CNN internship, Lauren Sanchez landed at KCOP, a Los Angeles television station. And that's where her ambition sharpened into something darker. This wasn't just about career moves anymore. This was about removing anyone who got in her way permanently. Her primary rival at the station was Rebecca Torres.
Not that I go that way, but you are one gorgeous girl.
You are so sweet. Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
I told you guys earlier, seriously, I wake up every morning, the first thing I do is like, oh my God, what is Jillian wearing?
Or not wearing.
Yeah.
And you have a
Well, that's more the case.
You have a son, and you say to him, "No, you're not watching cartoons today."
I make him go earmuffs, earmuffs.
All right.
Earmuffs. You're in.
Allow me to say, I do go that way, and you're looking pretty good. Okay? All right.
An established, well-liked journalist with years of experience and a clear path to becoming lead anchor. But Rebecca made one fatal mistake. She underestimated Lauren. Lauren started where she always did, with information. She overheard a conversation about Rebecca's past issues with alcohol and quietly filed it away. Then came the setup. One evening, Rebecca was scheduled to lead an important live segment, but her car broke down on the way to the studio, a mechanical failure that, it turns out, was no accident. Investigators later discovered someone had tampered with key components. Rebecca missed the segment. Management wasn't happy. Days later, an anonymous complaint landed on the news director's desk. Rebecca had allegedly shown up to work intoxicated. No proof, no source, but enough noise to trigger a formal review. Lauren, meanwhile, stepped in as the calm, capable replacement. Ready for air, professional, and drama-free. Rebecca was fired within a week. Her reputation tanked. Her personal life collapsed soon after. Her husband left her. She spiraled. "She didn't just take my job," Rebecca later said. "She took my family, my future." Lauren didn't just compete. She annihilated, and with each takedown, she got smarter, quieter, more ruthless. Because from now on, it wasn't just about climbing the ladder. It was about making sure no one else could follow her up. Tony Gonzalez thought he was in love. What he didn't know was that from the very first moment, he was a target. Lauren Sanchez didn't stumble into the NFL star's life. She planned her entrance. She first noticed him on TV, then studied him, his routines, his friends, his habits. She discovered where he'd be, arranged a chance encounter, and made sure she left an impression. It worked. Tony fell hard, but according to those close to him, Lauren didn't see romance, she saw opportunity. Mario Lopez, one of Tony's longtime friends, later said, "It was like she was collecting data. I literally saw her taking notes about our income, our connections. It was terrifying. Once inside Tony's world, she got to work. She began isolating him from anyone she couldn't control. One of the first to go was Carmen Rodriguez, Tony's best friend since childhood. Carmen saw through the act, and that made her dangerous. Lauren retaliated by leaking false claims that Carmen was trying to borrow money from Tony and manipulating documents to prove financial trouble. The trust was gone. The friendship ended. Another loose thread snipped. Inside the relationship, Lauren tightened her grip. She controlled the narrative, inserted herself into business decisions, and turned Tony into a tool, not a partner. Those close to him said he was never the same. And when she'd extracted everything she needed from him, the connections, the credibility, the status, she moved on. For Lauren, love wasn't about emotion. It was leverage, a weapon, a transaction. And next, she'd bring that same ruthless precision to her biggest stage yet, live television.
That's New Year's resolutions. I'm working out.
I never make them.
Said I would eat less. That's not happening. Said I would be nicer to my husband. That's definitely not happening.
You did really well, though. I mean, to go all the way to the
But when
finals.
you say you're going to win the whole shebang and you don't,
Still not bad.
you get to gloat. The other team does.
By the time Lauren Sanchez arrived at Fox 11 in Los Angeles, she had mastered the art of appearing innocent while orchestrating chaos behind the scenes. Her journalism career was rising fast, but not because of talent alone. Her real strength was eliminating anyone who could outshine her. Samantha Davis was the network's star. Charismatic, sharp, beloved by viewers, and respected by colleagues. She was everything Lauren wasn't, and that made her the next target. Lauren didn't come at her directly. That wasn't her style. She started by building a relationship with Samantha's young assistant, Ashley Green, a bright-eyed 23-year-old new to the industry who idolized her boss. Lauren played the role of mentor, gaining Ashley's trust, slowly pulling personal information out of her. Details about Samantha's long hours, mental exhaustion, and one tightly held secret, an affair with a married producer who held sway with station leadership. With this weapon in hand, Lauren moved like a chess player. First, she seeded quiet conversations about professional ethics and inappropriate workplace dynamics. Nothing specific, just enough to plant doubt. Then came the leak, an accidental tip to management. An internal investigation followed. Samantha was humiliated, her credibility shattered. She left the network not long after. But Lauren wasn't done. She knew Samantha's daughter, Emily, was in rehab for drug addiction, a secret kept tightly under wraps. Yet somehow, that information found its way to tabloids, framed as a journalistic scoop. Headlines exploded, paparazzi swarmed, and Emily, only 16, broke. The bullying pushed her to the edge. She tried to take her own life. Samantha, devastated, vanished from public life. Her career was gone. Her daughter was fighting for survival. And Lauren? She moved up, untouched, smiling into the camera. To her, it wasn't personal. It was necessary. And if she could destroy someone over ratings, imagine what she'd do for real power. For most entrepreneurs, building a business means innovation, partnerships, and competition. For Lauren Sanchez, it meant destruction. Her company, Black Ops Aviation, may have looked like a glossy aerial production firm, but underneath the branding was a blueprint for corporate sabotage.
Lauren Sanchez, exclusive with the president, and I just want to say first, so how are you feeling?
Great.
Her first target was Michael Stone, a veteran in the aviation filming space and founder of Sky Productions. He had built his business over 15 years, earning the trust of Hollywood studios and production houses. Lauren saw that and saw an obstacle. Through third-party contacts, she uncovered Michael's financial vulnerabilities and minor tax delays. That was all she needed. Within weeks, an anonymous tip landed at the IRS. Investigators froze his accounts and opened a full audit. While Michael scrambled to save his company, Lauren pounced, offering his top clients cut-rate deals and whispering doubts about his stability. Sky collapsed. Michael lost everything: his company, his marriage, and his name. "She didn't just beat me," he said later. "She erased me." Janice Wilson was next, a respected female pilot and rising force in aviation cinematography, but her growing influence made her a threat. Lauren weaponized her FAA connections to launch a fabricated investigation into Janice's flight conduct. Even though the charges didn't stick, the damage was done. Her clients vanished. Her business folded. She left the industry in silence. This wasn't business. It was a scorched earth strategy. And now, Lauren was ready to aim even higher. Not at rivals, but at the most powerful man on the planet.
According to Page 6, the affair was brought to light after Sanchez reportedly bragged about the affair to her girlfriends.
Jeff Bezos didn't just fall for Lauren Sanchez. He walked straight into a trap years in the making. While the world saw their relationship as a whirlwind romance, those who looked closer saw something far more calculated. Lauren's move into tech journalism wasn't an accident. She first eliminated Melissa Chen, a rising star in the field known for her deep industry access. Out of nowhere, a leak surfaced claiming Melissa accepted bribes from startups in exchange for positive coverage. The evidence was convincing, too convincing. "It was like she'd crafted an alternate version of me," Melissa said, and people believed it. Melissa's career imploded. Her spot? Taken by Lauren. From there, Lauren shifted her focus to Bezos. She didn't just learn about him, she studied him. She hired private investigators, spoke to former employees, and quietly gathered intel on his habits, interests, and, most importantly, the cracks in his marriage to Mackenzie Scott. Then came the transformation. Lauren suddenly developed a passion for aerospace, took flying lessons, and started attending events where Bezos would be. Each interaction seemed random. None of them were. She even infiltrated scientific circles by manipulating Dr. Robert Kimball, a respected space technology expert. Posing as a journalist writing a book, she gained his trust, accessed his contacts, and then destroyed his credibility with a false plagiarism scandal. By the time Bezos' marriage crumbled under the weight of tabloid leaks and personal strain, Lauren was already positioned as his confidant.
Do you want to know how Lauren Sanchez landed a rich man like Jeff Bezos? She is enthusiastic. She has a childlike exuberance. Why is this so alluring? I mean, he's the richest guy ever, so he can live this really exciting life. Life is full of routine. So when you have someone that comes along and makes you feel alive, that is extremely magnetic. Do you know the number one reason people cheat? It's to feel alive. So when someone like him can have someone like her, who has been described as a force and just a little girl who's full of wonderment, and her favorite word is magical. That's magical.
This wasn't love, it was a hostile takeover. But Lauren wasn't just after a relationship, she was after an empire, and she was ready to cash in. By the time Lauren Sanchez became Jeff Bezos' partner, she wasn't just rich, she was untouchable. But her fortune wasn't built through innovation or vision. It was pieced together from the remains of people she'd broken. Before Bezos, her net worth was already hovering around $50 million. The breakdown? Real estate scooped up after driving owners into bankruptcy. A Beverly Hills mansion purchased after a smear campaign tanked a competitor's deal. A Manhattan penthouse gained after triggering a scandal involving a media investor. A Malibu villa acquired for pennies after she sabotaged the owner's reputation in a local station. Black Ops Aviation, her aerial media company, was valued at $18 million, but most of its fleet, 12 helicopters and 8 private jets, came from fire sale deals. Competitors pushed into financial ruin, their equipment sold off cheap. One prized helicopter, worth millions, was acquired for almost nothing after she stirred up a PR scandal targeting its owner. Her investments? The same pattern. Media stocks from collapsing outlets. Tech startups acquired from distressed founders. Jewelry collections from ex-wives of business partners she helped destroy. Each asset had a backstory and a casualty.
I get it, you're marrying money, he has money, you have money. A nice little $10 million wedding could have been nice. Imagine donating that $25 million as a PR stunt to the people of Venice. Then maybe we all wouldn't hate you as much.
She also issued high-interest loans to friends who had nowhere else to turn, then used their debt to pull strings. Even her intellectual property portfolio included formats and projects quietly lifted from colleagues. This wasn't wealth accumulation. It was wealth extraction, using leverage, secrets, and pressure to squeeze every opportunity dry. But with Bezos came a new level of access, and suddenly Lauren's ambitions weren't just financial, they were global. With Jeff Bezos by her side and a personal fortune now estimated at over $2 billion, Lauren Sanchez isn't slowing down, she's accelerating. But what's alarming isn't just her access to wealth or influence, it's how she's using it. Insiders close to the Bezos circle have started to notice a disturbing pattern. Longtime staffers resigning suddenly, advisors being pushed out quietly, and anyone too close to Jeff being removed without explanation. Sources suggest these exits aren't random, they're purges. And they all have one thing in common: conflict with Lauren. Rumors are already swirling about her next move. Some say she's preparing a run for political office. Others claim she's laying the foundation for a global media empire, leveraging Bezos' connections and her own network of silenced allies and discredited enemies. But those who've watched her path up close know this: when Lauren sets her sights on power, someone always pays the price. Former friends, colleagues, even family members. No one has been spared when they stood between her and what she wanted. Each victory left behind a ruin, careers collapsed, reputations erased, relationships shattered beyond repair. She doesn't just rise, she clears the field. And now with unlimited money, global influence, and the backing of the most powerful man in tech, the only question left is chilling. Who's next?
Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez just threw a wild foam party on their $500 million yacht, right as protesters vow to block their wedding in Venice. While the world watches and critics grow louder, the couple is soaking in sun and soap, completely unfazed by the chaos surrounding them.
Lauren Sanchez didn't just chase success. She rewrote what it meant to take it. From childhood poverty to billion-dollar power plays, her story isn't one of inspiration. It's a blueprint for cold, calculated domination. She didn't rise in spite of the people around her. She rose through them, stepping over friends, lovers, and competitors like rungs on a ladder. Every connection was a transaction. Every setback she caused was someone else's life, quietly dismantled. And now, with global influence at her fingertips, she isn't finished. She's just getting started. But here's the real question. Is Lauren Sanchez the ultimate survivor or the perfect predator? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into the hidden stories behind fame and fortune, hit that subscribe button. The stories the headlines won't tell you, we will.